We are live on YouTube. Okay, so hello, everybody. I am Jessica Koch, and this is another Profound Professionals. I'm super excited today because I am having the chance to be with Dawn Cermak. She is an international business and success consultant and the co-founder and CEO of Hey Taxi, which is just an incredible organization and resource to everyone who crosses its path. So I just adore the two founders of this amazing organization, and I'm so happy to have Dawn here today for our show. So
thanks for inviting me, Jessica. I'm excited to be here. I am.
And I love your story and everything that you guys are so passionate about. So I am not going to wait or skip or hop a beat. We are just going to go right into it. So tell us a little bit of your background and how you ended up in Hey Taxi and as an international business and success consultant. I mean, that's mega impressive. I love that.
Well, I have been an entrepreneur for 32 years. I am certifiably unhireable, and I am currently building businesses 9, 10, and 11. And I recently thought about it. It was actually interesting. I recently was thinking about it because I was thinking, well, which of my businesses haven't been successful? And I realized that the only business I've had that hasn't been successful was a business that I started really. It was a landscaping company, and I really started it because I wanted to get the tax benefit of writing off all of my own gardening equipment and my mulch and all this, because I was really big into gardening. I had 27 gardens at home. So I started Bright Roost Landscaping so that I could have all of my gardening stuff be my business expenses.
Your hobby.
Right, exactly. And I sold plants on the side of the road. I mean, it was a business and I had a website and it was all good, but anyway, so it just made me laugh when I realized which one was the dog of all the businesses. But I started a business with my sister. I was pregnant with my first child. She said, I really want to start this business, but I signed a non-compete in New Jersey. Will you incorporate in Maryland? And I said, sure. Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. So I head down to Office Depot and I grab a how to incorporate a business kit, $40. Back then it was $40, how to incorporate a business, build it all out. There was no internet. There was no, I don't even think there were fax machines at that point, right? There was like mail in your business application. So we started this business and it was a special event production company. She's like, yeah, as soon as the 18 months expires, we'll go back to New Jersey. Well, it was a prop-based company. So we built, or she did, in her dining room, a whole 50s diner set and this corner candy store for my mom's 50th birthday. And my sister's boyfriend's best friend's mother happened to be an event planner. And she said, hey, can I come to the party? We're like, oh yeah, come to the party. You know, everybody's doing it. So she came, she saw what we had built. She said, I'm booking this next weekend for Jordan's bar mitzvah. And that was it. The company took off and we grew it to $10 million company with 150 employees. But I wasn't spending any time with my kids. At this point, I now have 3 kids, right? And December was the company's biggest month. It was Christmas party. So I'm out doing Christmas parties for the rest of the world. AOL Christmas party for 10,000. You know, these big, huge Christmas parties. And my kids are at home going, can we bake cookies? Can we decorate the tree? So I'm like, this is I got to get out. So I actually I sold the company, and I fell into network marketing because my sister and I said, okay. She said, okay, we are going to get healthy and lose weight and get in shape. And I said, right. And she said, right, go figure out how we're going to do it. I said, I'm on it. So we found this, we just like fell into this weight loss system that actually worked great. And then we lost weight and we looked great. And everybody said, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? So we told them, and all of a sudden I had this big team that I'm like, I have a team. What am I doing? I don't want to do network marketing. Then I looked at the compensation plan. I'm like, oh, turns out I do want to do network marketing. So I am a multiple seven-figure earner in a network marketing company. That was business number 8, I think. Anyway, so along the way, so 32 years, right? I'm very business savvy. I thought I was very tax savvy, had dealt with many, many accountants and highly compensated accountants, not H&R Block, I'm just going to say, right? I'm highly compensated accountants. And one day I was listening to a webinar, this was about 3 years ago, and I'm listening to this tax webinar, right? And you know, the sun's shining and I'm trying to get out to the garden and the birds are chirping. And really all I hear is wow, 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 because it's taxes. It's taxes. Who, like, it's a tax seminar. And I'm like, oh my God, like somebody said, listen to this. And I don't know why I'm listening to it, but I am. And then all of a sudden I realized what she was saying. And that it applied to me. And it was a tax strategy that I should have been utilizing for years. And as a result of not being told about this tax strategy, very basic, by my highly compensated accountants, I had left over $100,000 on the table. Not 100,000 in write-offs. I left what should be in my bank account right now, $100,000. And I thought, if me, business savvy, tax savvy, if I left $100,000 on the table, what is happening to other female entrepreneurs who just are accidental entrepreneurs, who are just falling into a business as a coach or you know, direct sales, just like they, all of it, you know, they find something they're passionate about helping people that have suffered trauma, as you know, that passionate about being a coach, passionate about some health and wellness product that has just changed their life. And they become entrepreneurs by accident. And so they're all focused on like the part of why they did it and what they love, but the whole business side of it and the tax side of it is like, you know, let's just stick over here. Let's not even. But you have to, it's like that necessary evil, right? You have to know about business and you have to know about taxes, because otherwise what our experience is for the women coming through and it's women, I'm sorry, men, if you're listening, I'm not for you. I can't.
She doesn't exactly mean it like that, I don't think.
Not like that, no.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, and not that there is anything wrong with that. But women entrepreneurs, we're different. We have different mindset issues. We have different belief issues, because the truth of the matter is we female entrepreneurs, we don't actually believe we're business owners. In the depth of our soul, we actually don't believe it.
I didn't want a business. I have a Jonah and the whale story. Like literally my business born despite me. Like I got pulled out by my ankles of the whale. I was hiding it and I was very happy to be there. And the reason I didn't want a business, not because I'm not passionate about what I do, is because I didn't want to have to deal with, I was a very high level business development person for other people's companies, making other people money, because I didn't have to think about any of that other stuff. I just wanted to make the money. I liked doing that part. Yep.
But as female business owner,
to learn from you guys, a lot to learn from you guys and apply. I have a lot still left to apply. So I know that I hate that when you know there's money on the table.
Well,
it drives me crazy.
It's not only, I mean, so because our experience is for women who've come through our Taxes and Tequila workshop, the average female entrepreneur is leaving over $6,000 on the table every single year. That's what our data shows. And it's not just that you're leaving money on the table, which is killing you, right? Like, how do you feel knowing that you're not dealing with all this stuff? Like, how does that feel? How does that feel? It feels crappy, you know. And then a lot of women experience imposter syndrome, right? And so there's guilt and there's shame and there's like, oh, I say I'm a business owner, I say I'm a boss babe, but I'm not, because I'm not running my business like a business, because I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So we have this whole business builders boot camp that we've designed to help women. And we actually have one coming up at the end of October 26th, 27th, 28th. And it's 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day from 7 to 8 at night on those 3 nights. And on day 1, we focus on making it legitimate. We focus on which entity structure is right for you. Should you be an LLC? Should you be a sole proprietor? Should you be have an S election on your tax return? Should you be a C Corp? Are you a partnership? And what does each of those mean?
And it's not too late. So like if you're already set up, or if you already passed that point, don't feel like it's too late, because it's not. It's never too late to fix those things.
Right. And it's just what they all mean and the pros and cons. So we talk about making it legitimate and getting an EIN number and, you know, all the things you need to do to make your business a business. Let's make it legitimate, right? Mm-hmm. Set up a bank account, get a business credit card in your name, you know, get it done in Bradstreet listing, Google My Business, like all these different things, make it legitimate. Then on day 2, we move to make it professional. So we talk about your online presence. We talk about your Zoom backdrops. We talk about—
I love yours, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So pretty.
Thank you so much. Well, trial and error, right? I mean, you don't get there overnight. It's what works and what doesn't. And so make it professional. We have like make your email signature professional and make your Zoom backdrops work, and have a virtual business card that if you're networking, which we all are now on Zoom, right? Zoom is now where we network. You have to have something you can pop in the chat there that will be that is your virtual business card. You don't want to be like typing as everybody's saying, hey, what do? You don't want to be typing. You cut and paste. It's your link tree, it's your virtual business card, whatever it might be. The importance of photo shoots. I was just talking to a gal. She's actually a website developer. She's like, I do photo shoots all the time because my photos, I can control them. I don't have to use stock photos, and I need photos for my own website. Mm-hmm. She said, I do photo shoots all the time. I did a photo shoot in Barcelona.
I know. So I was going to bring that up. I was so excited about that.
Yeah. So in the middle, you know, I kind of gave you half of my story. So in 2014, I went and I looked at a business in Barcelona. I was going to buy a business in Barcelona. And I ended up not buying the business, but I fell in love with the idea of going and living in Barcelona, because I was going to buy the business, working in Barcelona for 6 months, and then bring it back to the United States. I fell in love with the idea of going and living in Barcelona. So scooped up my 8-year-old daughter, and we went and we lived in a little town south of Barcelona called Sitges. It's on the Mediterranean. It's one of those little Mediterranean towns, but like right next to Barcelona. So best of both worlds, right? Where we would go out in the street and the fruit vendor guys wave into us, or we go to the train station. We always would see somebody that we knew. It was that, and the Mediterranean lifestyle is you live it out in the street. So everybody is, you know, everybody's always out, you know, the town comes alive at 5 o'clock. They shut down from 2 to 5 for siesta and go home, and then the town comes alive. And it was just this amazing experience with my 8-year-old daughter. Like, we figured it all out together. Like, we figured out where to go get money, you know, where the best ATM was, and where the best pizza was, and where the best ice cream place was, and how to do phones in a different country. Like, we did it. It was like one of the best experiences of my life. I now actually have team members in Barcelona and in Madrid and in London. And I lived in London for a while, kind of did the same thing with my daughter, because I believe in that. I believe it has given her so much. She's 16 years old. She's so confident. She's so self-assured. She's so worldly. It's like, oh yeah, she actually flew when we were in London, and she was 12, and she had to fly home from London by herself. Put her on a plane. She's like, I'm all worried. I'm at the airport. I'm like, are you going to be okay? She's like, Mom, like, I've been on 15 transatlantic flights. Like, I'm just going to get on the airplane. I'm going to put the movie on. I'm going to put my earbuds in. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to eat. I'm going to watch another movie. I'm going to sleep. And then Dad will be there at the other end. I'm like, okay, that's what I've created. That is what I feel like I've created by who I am as a businesswoman, as somebody who can live and work anywhere in the world, right? That's what I've created. I have designed a life that delights me. Yeah. And my mission and my passion is that other female entrepreneurs can do that exact same thing. They can design a life that delights them, and they can see that it's possible. Yeah. And what we do at Hey Taxi, in addition to helping you not leave money on the table, is we focus on 4 pillars of profitability. Yeah. So we focus on, oh, I forgot, day one, sorry, day one, make it legitimate. Day two, make it professional. Day three, make it profitable.
Yes.
And so at Hey Taxi, we focus on the 4 pillars of profitability. Make more, keep more, access more, and believe more. Because I told you about, like, we had that little belief thing going on. And if you don't handle that little belief thing, your business is never going to grow. You are never going to get there. You can think you can, oh, it's okay that you can't. You can't outsmart yourself on this one. You need to believe, and you need someone who believes in you and can believe for you until you can believe for yourself. You need people like that. And you need to surround yourself with people who have and are living the life that you want.
It's true.
And then ask them how they did it. Like be around those people and be able to ask them questions, right? That's what you need. So the 4 pillars of profitability, that's what we focus on. And that's what, when we bring new members in, we give you a custom roadmap for your business that's based on an in-depth conversation, a deep dive into your business, and looking at, where are your holes? Where is the Swiss cheese? We do a Swiss cheese survey, and where are the holes in your business? And what does Hey Taxi have? And where do we know of other resources that can support you in filling up those holes? So you can have a strong foundation, no cracks in your pillars, and then you can go and focus. And, I tell people, there's a lot of great coaches out there, right? And like, I just talked to one, she charges $30,000 a year. She's amazing. She's a mindset coach, and she's just right. That mindset thing again, there it is.
Pretty big.
Hey Taxi, our goal is that you are able to hire her. Our goal is that you get all your foundation set, you get all those pillars lined up perfectly, strong and solid, you get your business ready, and then we can help you go and find the coaches that you might want to hire, work with, to focus on business growth, scale, like all these other things. And you'll actually meet them in Hey Taxi because they're hanging out there. They're our strategic partners.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the biggest thing, is having that foundation, like you said, and blueprint of how to be successful. And then once you've practiced that success, then the next stage of the process is then scaling it, right?
Yes.
And that, I think that's a huge piece.
But you can't go scale before you do the basics. It's like building your business on quicksand.
Yeah.
It
and
is.
I think the business boot camp that you have is great because it's good for someone who may be just thinking about getting started, who already got started, who's been started for a little while, or even someone who's even more experienced. They're going to have their aha moments and the value that they can bring to that group. Because one of the nice things is at the moment it's live, right? Where you're doing this. I mean, it's virtually, but it's live, where you get that interaction and that mastermind and that support from the entire community of people in the boot camp,
it's live. It's a live presentation for an hour, and then afterwards is the Q&A, and that's when the good stuff really happens, is in the Q&A that happens after. Because Jessica, we started Jessica did the boot camp with us the last time, and we started talking about business insurance and cyber liability, and you're like, I don't even know what that is. And so I said, well, let me go find somebody that'll educate all of us. So I just brought into Hey Taxi an insurance expert who taught everybody about business insurance, professional liability, general liability, professional liability, and cyber liability. Like, that resulted from that conversation that you and I had, that she was there. I don't know if you know that.
Well, that's awesome. I love that. And it's really just paying attention to all the things that are changing so fast, especially when we're just developing our company and we're, wearing all the hats. It's hard to pay attention to all the lanes and they're all moving so fast, right? And, because there's new rules about different icons and different things your websites have to have and all these other things, that when you have a community like this where they're paying attention to all those things and then can educate you on what you need to do so that you're not being penalized or missing the boat on something big.
Do you know how many changes there were to the tax code in the last 15 years?
Well, it doesn't even matter 15 years. It's the last 2 that I think has been almost as many as the last 15.
4,500.
Oh my God. And how many of those happened in the last 2 years?
A lot. Stuff has changed. You think you know stuff, like, so you're going along like, oh, I know how to do my taxes. I do my taxes. Like, a lot of things changed. And what happened for a lot of our members is because that stimulus money became a big deal. I had a gal that came through Taxes and Tequila and worked with our Hey Taxi CPA. She'd never gotten money back before. She got back, not only did she get back starting point $11,000, but because she lowered her taxable income so significantly, she accessed another $4,000 worth of stimulus money in 2020, and then another $4,000 worth of stimulus money in 2021. Can you imagine? Talk about leaving money on the table. She wouldn't have had that stimulus money if she hadn't worked with us and gotten her taxable income down. It would not have happened. It made the difference between her family dipping into savings, because that was her next step. They were going to have to go and start dipping into savings, and being able to go on vacation with the money they got back. It's a big difference.
It is a huge difference. All right. So you're starting to get that Hey Taxi is this community of women business that they're getting lots of support. But why don't you take us through kind of the big umbrella? So you have several different programs that you do, and then there's kind of an all-encompassing membership. And so kind of walk us through a little bit more of that.
Okay, so Business Basics Bootcamp, we talked about that. That's just something that we do just to give you kind of an overview of where your business might need help, where there might be some holes in what you've created already. And then when you come to Hey Taxi, we have a free Facebook community. That's awesome. We do a lot there. We do training events in there. We do Driver's Ed, which is a monthly business and tax update. And just a lot, there's a lot there. We post, tax changes as they come up. There's a lot that happens just in the Facebook community. But then we have the Empowered CEO membership. And the Empowered CEO membership has 3 tiers. So there's 3 different levels of how you can participate in the Empowered CEO membership. And some of it you have with the best tier 3, you have access to our speed networking, which is like amazing. I know, Jessica, that's your favorite. It's my favorite. I don't like in-person networking. I never enjoyed in-person networking. I love speed networking. Like I love it. So we have speed network, we have Taxes and Tequila. I already told you that's our signature tax workshop. Ka-ching, which is maximize your home office deduction. We have a business plan workshop. We have a how to be your biggest fan workshop. And so we have a whole bunch of different business and tax masterclasses that you can tap into. How to pay your kids and move $12,000 above the line every year. What about that gold mine sitting in your driveway? How do we take advantage and leverage that? And how to make every trip a business trip, if possible. So we have all these master classes, and then we have VIP trainers coming in. Jessica is actually going to be one of our VIP trainers coming in. You guys, you might want to get in Hey Taxi now. You don't want to miss this. Jessica is going to teach you how to knock stuff off your to-do list while you're sleeping.
Yeah, that's what we want, right? We want to lose weight while we sleep, and we want stuff to magically be done for us by little elves while we sleep. So.
Make money while we sleep. It's all while we're sleeping. It's all good. Right. So Jessica's going to be, she's one of our VIP guest trainers. We also do actionable business tool training. So we're not theory-based coaches. We are GSD coaches, get shit done, right? I hope I'm allowed to speak French on your show, but that's it. We're about taking action.
Yeah.
We are totally about taking action. And so you get all of those things. And there's so much more. We have an Ask the Accountant call that you can jump on, and ask the accountant anything you want. You, as the tier 3 member, you actually get our accountant to review last year's tax return to see if you did leave money on the table.
Yeah,
and you might want to
huge. Doing those back audits can be really big.
Pays for the whole membership, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Completely. And you get us. You get us to help you put together a custom roadmap for you and your business. You get us, you get spot coaching with us, you get strategy sessions with us. We're really excited about our next one coming up. So take a look. I mean, there's 3 levels of membership. We're here to meet you where you are. We get, everybody's in a different place. And so we developed 3 different levels of empowered CEO membership for people just to, come in and figure out how we can help them.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing that all of these different programs do is the transformation, like you mentioned with this client that you had, the transformation of taking someone from, kind of sometimes successful by accident, or things just going so well because they're doing what they're passionate about, or being even involved in a company that is, network marketing, like we talked about, that they just become excited and feel connected to the mission and the founder and the products and the way it's changing their lives. And this happens for lots of people. There's so many companies like that out there, or even if it's just their own event planning, right, company that, or landscaping that they started because they love it. When you get to be a part of this Hey Taxi community and family, you get this full transformation and opportunity, not just to, like she said, make more money, but keep more of your money and then access to money. So you heard the story of how all of those pieces fit together, and that person would not have been able to access those funds, whether that was a business loan or it was the stimulus money. It doesn't matter. As business owners, sometimes we do need access to capital, whether it's happening from the government or the world because things are changing, or it's just a strategic growth plan. People get business loans to scale and market and do things with their business when it's the right timing. And knowing how to have your ducks in a row and the money set up the right way and your documents in order and all of the things you need to know about that, and the connections of who and where are the best places and safest places to get access to business capital, and am I even qualified for that, and how do I become an entity like that, even if I'm in a networking marketing, because that's possible too. The other thing that's exciting, and I just came across and I'll be introducing to you guys at Hey Taxi, is another great resource is being able to have access for customer financing. So like some of the programs, as you grow, maybe you're a coach or a consultant, even if you're connected to some of these other companies, you then tend to be do coaching programs and retreats and things based around the idea and the knowledge that you're gaining as you develop and grow as a company. And sometimes those programs are going to cost $10,000 or $25,000 or $30,000, and having the knowledge and, like I said, the community where you can say, well, how do I get my customers financing so that I don't have to worry about, taking and collecting 10 or 20 payments or, things like that. Let someone else take care of that so your business can thrive and grow, take it, advantage of the benefit of that. But, so that's falls in the realm of the business capital world, and being able to understand how that works for you as she would, as Dawn earlier said, like the boss CEO that you really are. Doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, someone had to figure it out, right? Someone had to originally figure it out or think of it or invent a new way to do business. And I think this is just, Hey Taxi is a perfect example of a community coming together with great leadership of how to do that. And not just the how, but the step by step. This is, you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. And I think that sometimes is what everyone needs,
Well, it's a one-stop shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's a one-stop shop of a lot of different, really important resources. Like, it's so funny that you should mention investor capital. One of the downloads I just created how to create an investor pitch deck. Mm-hmm. What 13 elements does your investor pitch deck require? And it's just a free download that's in our vault. It's just something that came up and one of my clients needed it. And I'm like, well, might as well, like, I did it, it's here. So I might as well just have it available for all of the membership. And it's one of the things I actually talk about in my 4 pillars of profitability, my Swiss cheese survey, right? Is the fact that, like, everyone needs a business plan. And it's not just if you want to go get funding. Like, everyone needs a business plan. You have got to, and you've got to put it together. You've got to know where you're going, because it's hard to get where you're going if you don't know where you're going. And doing a business plan, spending that time on a business plan can save you a ton of headache, heartache, and money. So that's why one of our signature workshops is our business plan workshop, because everybody needs one. Even if you're a solopreneur, I never had a business plan up till my 9th business. I never had a business plan because I'm like, well, I have my finger on the pulse of my business. I know everything there is to know about my business and my ideal customer. And what do I need a business plan for? I'm not going to the bank for money. Oh, I could have saved myself so much time.
Well, the interesting thing is, even once you've made a business plan, it's not a stagnant thing. It's a living thing. You need to keep going back and revisiting it and have an accountability and have, your monthly and quarterly and, semi-annual kind of addressing and morphing. It's like that saying, one of the things I love about that they say is, when you're in a plane, it's constant correction, right? In order to get from here to there, they have to correct the whole flight. Well, your business plan is your whole flight from here to there. And if you don't keep correcting, you're going to end up in Timbuktu when you really were headed for the Bahamas, and I think the weather is quite different.
All of that is 100% true, especially the weather.
Exactly. Well, and if you had said someday I might want to live in another country with my kid somewhere, then you would have never done that, but you decided you wanted to go for this amount of time to this place to achieve this goal, and you knew exactly where that was. So then you had to figure out where you were going to live. All of that stuff was planning before you got there. You didn't just show up in Barcelona and say, okay, we got a ticket, we made it here. You had a plan for where you were going to live and how you were going to function and what you were going to do next. And you figured out, the lay of the land. And then when you got there, you even planned even more so that you could thrive during your time there. So I don't know why people think it's any different with the business. I think it's even more valuable with the business. So,
and truly, that experience, our life is so much richer for just that experience. I'm now a host mom. Businesses, did you hear me? 9, 10, and 11, plus I took on an exchange student, but he's from Barcelona. Friend of a friend called and said, hey, do you know anybody who might want my best friend's sister's son for a year? And I said, well, let me check around. I said to my daughter, do you know anybody who might want to, exchange student for a year? She said, yeah. I said, oh, really? You do? She said, us. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Wow, this has been quite a journey. I'm very excited for everything you're doing. We're going to make sure you have everything in the comments of this interview to find and reach all the ways and all the places for Dawn and Hey Taxi and their amazing programs. Before we move along, one of the things that was really important to me about starting Profound Professionals interview series a few years ago was making sure we highlight and spread some awareness in our time with some amazing causes. There's so many in the globe, but to choose from. Can you share with us a cause that, besides being a host of an amazing person from another country in your home, that's kind of a cool thing too. But what are some other things? I know gardening makes your heart sing, but that make your heart sing that's touching the world in a profound way.
I actually am very passionate about supporting the Smile Train. I don't know if you know about the Smile Train. The Smile Train is a charity that supports kids in third world countries getting cleft palate surgery, getting their smile back, right? And so all of your money for $250 $250. You can buy a child a new smile because the doctors volunteer all of their time. So basically what that $250 is paying for is medical supplies for the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference, I mean, to buy a child a smile, do you know how life-changing that is? And so I will do, like if I have somebody who's close to me pass away, I will do that in their memory. I will buy a child a smile because I think what better way to, you know, to acknowledge and remember someone than have a smile on a child's face. And so that's what I do. That's what I do. I just send a little card and I say, hey, I did that.
Way better than flowers.
I mean, I love flowers and flowers are nice, but they don't last as long as a smile.
Way better than flowers. I love it.
That's my thing.
That is awesome. So here we are, we're at the end. So one last thing we're going to squeeze out of Dawn is before we say goodbye and wrap this all the way up, I love for our guests to share with us some of their favorite things, either quotes or books or life habits or things that have brought joy, success, and wonderfulness to their lives. So what is one last thing that you just really love or that you do or you can share with us that you feel is impactful?
Well, my favorite quote is the best way to predict the future is to create it.
Yeah.
And I have found, I was just sharing this with somebody earlier, when you're in a funk or like you don't know where to go, like you're just at a place, when in doubt, focus out.
Yes.
And I did it. The one day I was just in this, I was in like, everything was awful. And I was just in this crappy mood. And I'm like, wait, shift. When in doubt, focus out. I went live on Facebook and I said, okay, when in doubt, focus out. I want to give to the charities that you're passionate about. So the next 10 people who comment on my Facebook, what your charity is and why you're passionate about it, I will be sending money to those charities. Do you think that shifted my energy? Do you think that put me into a better place? Do you think I attracted new clients the next day as a result of focusing out? You betcha.
Yeah, I always say don't give to get, but it's a guaranteed side effect. Take it up with whoever
That's
runs the universe because it isn't 100%. It's not our rule. It just is. So with that, I want to thank you for spending your time with us. Please share with us all the ways that we can support you in the comments, or maybe we have a cause we can feature you, or who knows, maybe we can feature you on the next Profound Professionals. So reach out, be well, be kind to yourself, and be kind to others. All right. Thanks. I'm Jessica, and that's it for today.